Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. Today's video is going to be another recap and is going to be for Glitch Regen. Just happened this weekend. It was a great tournament. Light took the whole thing, finally getting that Glitch win after Glitch 7. It got pretty close. And yeah, it was really big. A couple DQs made it a little less, namely the Tweak and Cosmos DQs are probably the biggest two as they were both top 8 seeds. But outside of that, it was still a super stacked tournament. We're going to go over that. And yeah, everything that happened. Just before though, this is what I had for top 8 once it was made. I had Light winning, Zomba second, Kamehame third, Sonic's fourth, PK Chris and Jackal fifth, and Jake and Squid Plumber seventh. What actually happened was Light won, so there's one for me. Kamehame got second, Sonic's third, Zomba fourth, and then Jackal, PK Chris fifth, and Squid Plumber Jake seventh. So hey, I got like what is that, 5? Which is pretty good, and the other 3 are just kind of mixed around there. So not honestly terrible. And then for 13th and 9th place, we had, I think Ned was the first and ninth. Yeah, and then Syrup, Ken, and Sharp, or Nido Sharp, and Smub, Unleashed, Peanut, and Goofy Goober all got 13th. So this was a tournament with a ton of runs because Cosmos and Tweak, I believe, are in the same upset area. So there was big runs here. Namely, all 3 of these people had some of the runs of the tournament. Alternus getting this far with Little Mac is crazy. We'll talk about Peanut in a bit because his is more crazy. Squid Plumber getting top 8 with Richter is really good. This is the first time we've ever seen a Richter top 8 in Major. Because I know Dom hasn't done it. I don't think Noxombra's done it. Also, very impressive by him. It's a great run. PK Chris being another Ness player to top 8. I feel like Ness is like the most popular or the most popular character that's been in top 8. Like we have Gact in top 8, Syrup in top 8, Send in top 8, and now PK Chris in top 8. Atata was really close one time. He got like ninth. And Ness, the Ness population is population that feels weird, but the Ness players are so good. Like there's a lot of them. And then who else had a really good run outside top 8? Goofy Goober as well. Beat Matador and lost to Ken. And then who else did they beat before? Were they an upset? They beat Ling, which is very impressive. And also, let's talk about Smup because I don't want to. Oh no! Why did it break? Okay, that was weird. But let's talk about Smub because Smub had a incredible run, and I was just really impressed with his play, especially considering it was Ridley. Smub's set versus Ling was one of the best of the tournament. It was actually ridiculous. He played it so well. Like he looked phenomenal. Played it so clean. Doing with Ridley as well, not a great character. Like, and this was the low tier tournament though because Peanut, he got 13th with Little Mac, all Little Mac, and he almost beat Syrup. He was like hits away from beating Syrup. It was crazy. He probably should have won Game 5, honestly, but he choked it because Syrup just hit like a crazy combo. But he beat Slashy and he beat Omega. Just a crazy run. Beast Mode Paul also probably should have beat Syrup because he hit like a thwack or whichever the non-projectile one was at like 80 and Syrup didn't die. There's like a 1 in 20% or a 1 in 5 chance that doesn't happen. So just super lucky for Syrup and then unlucky for Beast Mode Paul. So yeah, Syrup blessed by the gods this run to get a ninth place. Jackal got the run back. I think Syrup beat Jackal at Shine. And also, Jackal finally won a set in top 8. Jackal's been making a lot of top 8s, but this is his first time he's ever won a set. He won it over Squid Plumber, and then Zomba Jackal was the best set of the tournament, at least in my opinion. It's that or Sonic's Kamehame. But Jackal Sombo was or Zombo. Jackal Zombo was crazy. He's just such a good set. He played so well. So did Zomba as well. Zomba again, being really consistent. Now that's like what is that? Third, fourth now. Just really good placements all around. He's been playing out of his mind lately. The 2 people that I thought would overperform their seeds were Jen and MPG, and I think they both underperformed their seeds by 1. So whoops, I was close. Well, not really, but hey, can't always be right. Jake getting top 8 as well. Jake made the craziest run of the tournament by far because he got upset really early on by who was it? It was Wilds, who is like I think he's 13 years old. He's really young. He's a Kazuya player, so shouts to him because he also made a crazy run beating Jen as well. But then he beat Pink Fresh, Alternus, Unleashed, Ken. Definitely the most impressive win, only to lose to Kamehame to get 7th. So Jake had one of the longest Wizards run I've seen in a really long time. And just like very impressive. He's also been very consistent, getting a top 8 at Double Down, now a top 8 here, just like looking really strong. Like one of the top Steve reps again. And I can't wait any longer. Let's talk about Kamehame because I was so excited to see Kamehame in the U.S. and he did not disappoint. So he had a pretty decent. He used all sort of this tournament, by the way. Well, he used Mega Man one game in Grands, but he lost, so that doesn't really count. He used all commit or Sora, and this set was super close. He should have won it. Honestly, there was like 5 seconds left, and instead of like running away, he just like air dodged into Sonics, and then Sonics up smashed him. Obviously, it's a tense situation, especially when you're at kill percent, both of you. But kind of fumbled the bag there, but then made the loser run of beating Sharp in a very close set. And then going to beat Jake, PK Chris, Zomba, Sonics again, or not again, but like getting the run back, and then before falling to light. And I think this was such a cool tournament because like we haven't seen Kamehame in the U.S. in like not a couple years, but definitely not since quarantine. So it's been a long time, and this he kind of fought like a lot of the newer talent. Like Sharp was not around pre-quarantine, or at least not like this. No Steve, so that's Jake. PK Crisp is also a new up and comer, but definitely less. Zomba, definitely up and comer. Same with Sonics as well. They kind of Sonics had to start during online, or at least that's when he became super prevalent. And then Zomba was kind of like around CEO ish era. No, around like when Smart started coming back. I don't know how big he was online actually. But yeah, it was super cool to see Kamehame play against all these like new gen players. It was just really sick. So super happy with that. Yeah, he had a great run. Wish he used more Mega Man, but hey, it's still Kamehame. He's still sick. Maybe he'll get second this tournament. And be like, damn, I would have won the whole thing with Mega Man. And I'll drop it. We can dream, but also the source stats account is a lot funnier now. So yeah, very happy with Kamehame. He played amazing. Obviously, Light played amazing. He was projected to win this tournament, and for good reason. He played phenomenal. He beat Sharp. He beat Jackal, someone he has had trouble with in tournament in the past. I think they're 2-2. That could be wrong. I know it's at least 1-2, but I think because I think he lost him. He lost him at Smash Fest. I think he might have lost him at Collision, or they had. I know they had a close set of Collision. Jekyll. Okay, it's 3-2 Light's flavor. Okay, he played a Momentous. All right, so they played a Momentous. This is like a while ago. But they are 2-2 post quarantine. Momentous was the very start of the quarantine era. Like one of the first tournaments. I think it was like the second one. I know it was the second one I covered on this channel. That feels like a really long time ago, and I guess that's because it was. But yeah, shoutouts to Light, like getting that record back in his favor now, and just playing super consistent again. He looked a lot better than he did on Shine and PAX Weekend, so happy for him. He's been playing out of his mind. That's the third major win for him now. None of them were Leo at though, so we're gonna see if he can do it at the Ludwig Invitational, because I assume he's going to that. I just assume everyone is, honestly, because most people are. What other runs were really good? Yoda Cage getting 25th, I think this is, with Bowser Jr.'s pretty good. Ned, it seems like, or at least I think Ned said on Twitter he's going to be using Munli Pokemon Trader now, which I think is cool. He's had some of his best runs with PT, some really good runs with Sephiroth, and PT is definitely a better character than Sephiroth. So we're gonna see if he can find that consistency again with mainly PT. It's not even like he had a bad tournament run here. Like he beat Advanced PB, he beat Goofy Goober, who was having the run of their life, and he lost to Squid Plumber 3-1. And I think he lost with PT as well. Not that that really matters, but like for the Sephiroth this terrible thing, it's just like it's not terrible. Just like he play against people that are playing really good. But I think he will still be amazing with PT. Obviously, he was before. Why can't he do it again? And then having a pocket Sephiroth, I think switching them where it's like PT's your main, Sephiroth is your pocket would be way better. Because I feel like Sephiroth is really strong in the counter pick. I think those are all the main runs I wanted to talk about. Sharp, obviously, having a really good run as well. It's always good to see. Oh, Ken. Ken getting ninth is actually a pretty big deal. He lost to Zomba 3-2, which was, I think, expected. Or at least that's what I thought was going to happen. But also, Zomba does really well against Japan and then lost to Kamehame, which I was in shock about. So, again, Kamehame just the real Japanese GOAT. And then he lost to Jake, which is very interesting. Again, very clearly did not know the Sephiroth or just the Steve matchup. It feels like he was really scared of Iron, even when Jake had no resources, like not even like no Iron, just like nothing in his crafting thing, which is interesting. So even though that is a bad matchup for Steve, if the other person doesn't know how to play it, doesn't matter how bad the matchup is, you're probably still gonna win. So yeah, shout outs to Jake for winning that matchup, and then Ken as well. Still ninth place is very consistent. He's obviously an amazing player, and yeah, my player of the tournament, I think it has to be Squid Plumber. It's definitely between him or PK Chris, but I think PK Chris has been having a lot more runs at least recently. Or at least I remember PK Chris being pretty consistently doing well. This is definitely a breakout run. I also just think that Squid Plumber had a lot of really good wins. Like the Ned win is pretty much what's selling it for me. That Ned win is very impressive. Let us see. How has he been doing, PK Crisp? Okay, crisp. Look at that. 25th at Riptide, pretty good. 25th at Shine's very good. 25th. Any other 25ths? One more 25th, and he's the Messer 25th. Has he not been to? Has it been a while since he's been to majors before that? Okay, 49th at MomoCon. So he's been pretty consistently doing very well, and then this is a huge breakout run for him. Run for him. So yeah, very impressive. But I'm still gonna give it to Squid Plumber. Just honestly, this Nedwood is crazy. Beating Ned with Richter as well. Just very impressive. So yeah, that's my player of the tournament. The sets of the tournament was basically any light sit on day two. Light set day ones were eh. His set against Dill was really good though, just because it was kind of intense. Because she's crazy. So yeah, light sets were really good. Jackal sets as well. Smub sets were amazing because it's Ridley. Ken Zombo was really good. Sonic's Kamehame was really good. Jackal Zombo was the best set of the tournament, as I mentioned earlier. I enjoyed Ken Jake. I also enjoyed Jackal Syrup. Kamehame Jake was really good. Kamehame Zombo was good. Like, honestly, if you have to pick a player, watch a Kamehame set or watch a light set. It's like, I mean, there's one set where they're both in it, so I'd watch that one. Sorry, I forgot to put this part in the original video. I just forgot to record this segment, so we're doing it now. This is going to be the last set of Grand Finals, or last game of Grand Finals. It's going to be Mega Man Fox, and it's going to be on Kalos, which I really don't like. Both Sonics and Kamehame counterpicked lights to Kalos, which is like, he is probably the best Kalos player in the world. Maybe it's like a matchup thing, because like his character might not be the best, but like individually is really strong on Kalos, like very strong. His pressure on those platforms is incredible. So there's something you're going to notice a lot in this matchup that I'm pretty surprised about is there's basically no Leaf Shield usage. And Leaf Shield is like Mega Man's like strongest tool. Leaf Shield is stupid broken, like that or pellets. Like it is ridiculous, but I don't know if it's like Fox just gets in and like just straight up makes it invalid, or maybe his reflector is like really good against Leaf Shield, so it's not even worth it. I don't really know why. Maybe just like Light didn't give any opportunities, but it's something that's really good that was never used. That's really good. A lot of the time, as Fox, ways to beat him, knowing your parry timing. This is essentially the lowest he can do this nair for it to like confirm into anything good for the sour spot, I think. And that's why Kamehame is ready for the parry. You can't. It's hard to mix up nair timings. It really is, unless you're going for like strong hit. But like to get the sour spot, which you do normally want with Fox, you do it. You can also mix it up with a down air. But Kamehame calls out and kills him at like sub 100, which is really good. Mega Man is great for that. I'd say Mega Man does have, for the most part, better killing than Sora. I could be wrong, because Sora does have more confirms, I will say. Like, Mega Man has Metal Blade stuff, but the rest is kind of just, like, get the kill. And Sora has, like, forward air combos, down tilt stuff. I think he has probably some stuff with side B, but I don't really know how that works. I know he has Fireball stuff as well. But just in terms of raw killing, Mega Man is a lot better, at least in my opinion. And I think that is something you really need against Light, because if you let him run with a stock for a while, like if you get to a point where Light is playing anti-kill, that is where you have a huge problem, because his anti-kill is just like, I'm going to keep running at you and winning neutral, and he normally does. Okay, this was perfect. This was something that people need to do. There's a whole video coming out about this. So right here, Light hits Kamehameha Shield, classic Fox pressure, he's going to do this. There's not a ton you can do in the situation unless you have a really quick option out of shield. But in most cases, Fox just gets a free jump away. And you can see Kamehameha's head is exposed right here. So what he does is he angles his shield, because Light will essentially always go for the second back air, because there's no reason not to. After that first back air, there is essentially no pressure. You go for this second back air, and you can see that now Kamehame is completely in the shield except his legs, but Light cannot position the back air here to hit the legs. It just won't work. It'll go too low. So he lives there. In every other situation, if he doesn't angle his shield, he's probably dead. I think back air would kill at 120. It should kill at 120. And now his shield's a skill. He might be able to punish that back air. I'm not actually sure. It looks like he probably could have. Like, Light can act, I think, right here. And he shields the next frame. Or maybe he could act. So he would have had like one frame window, but you could have maybe grabbed. But just getting out, I think, is fine as well. But just the shield tilting is so good from Kamehame, and when people start doing it against Light, he is going to have a lot harder of a time. That was a great down smash, just a call out of trying to maybe go for the Metal Blade, he assumed. And he was right. Maybe trying to get aggressive off the ledge, calls him out. Gets that kill pretty early on, which is very lucky for him, because Mega Man is a character that can snowball super hard. Like, he gets stuck on the ledge, and it is kind of just you take a ton. Again, no Leaf Shield in any of this pressure. I'm not sure why. Probably a matchup thing. But it's just weird. Like, usually Mega Man's spam this. Also, Light going for a lot of grabs. Light is a grab-heavy player, just because Fox kind of forces you to stay in shield, because you don't want to get hit by a dash attack. You don't want to get hit by a nair. You don't want to get hit by, like, a down air. There's so much stuff that he can hit you with that combos into a bunch of stuff, so you're just kind of scared in your shield. I think that was a little just little greedy from Kamehame. I think does he Phantom Footstool his shield? No, I think that was just a normal double jump. It would have been cooler if he Phantom Footstool the shield though. So he gets the grab there, and now Light is stuck at the ledge, and I like this from Light. I really like this from Light. So a lot of players in this situation, he's carrying up the ledge. It's this situation right here. So Light misses that grab, and he just goes, I'm disengaging. Because you don't want to be... He misses the grab, and then it's like, okay, you run in, like, Kamehame has all his options. What do you do? Because Kamehame is still scared. So Light just says, I'll leave. Like, Kamehame expects an aggressive option. Light leaves because he knows, even if he leaves, he still has center stage. Kamehame is still at the ledge. He doesn't give up that much. And you avoid a scramble, which you really want to do, especially when you have the lead and center stage. And a scramble against Mega Man especially is really scary. And he gets the kill off it because he kept center the whole time. Really hard to get off the ledge against Fox, especially Light's Fox, and especially when you don't have access to Leaf Shield like Mega Man does. Because that's kind of his trump card off the ledge is Leaf Shield, maybe some lemon stuff, but it's really tough against Fox. And you can see, like, Kamehame isn't getting a lot per hit. He's getting, like, 20, 90 per... Or not 20, 90. He's getting, like, 20, 10% per hit. And that kind of is Mega Man, but there's not a ton of stuff. Like, you have to win neutral a ton as Mega Man, which is pretty tough. You don't have any super heavy, crazy combos, except, like, with Metal Blade. But those are, like, obviously very hard to hit. You know Light is feeling himself when he goes for a side B. Again, the parrying. Just, like, honestly, that's just a Callus platform thing. I have to assume that was really, because there's no way Light doesn't. Maybe Light just thought he would go through the platform. Yeah, that is not reasonable. So getting a little greedy there. Maybe he thought he dropped through the platform. And Light has also avoided the crash bomber every time. I don't know if that's intentional or he just it just is lucky. But it is very good because it allows you to keep up pressure when you are invincible, like the best time for pressure. A little bit of a footstool there. Fox unfortunately doesn't have anything off of that. And hey, what is that foreshadowing I hear? Oh my god. Gets hit here. And look at this. Look at this guy. What is that? What is that little pieces thing? And then here it comes. Here comes the back air. If only there was a way to save yourself. Oh, 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 and there it is. You can see this, you know it's a shield pull because obviously we're doing frame by frame, but also the shield is still up. That is called robbery. That is a shield poke. There's a way to save it. You angle the shield. Yes, it's very hard at the moment. No, I'm not actually blaming Kamehame that hard. It's a tough situation. But I think shield poking is huge. It's super important, and video on that. So, yeah, sorry I just threw this in there, but I like these parts of the videos. I want to be in here. Anyway, back to whatever I was saying. But, yeah, overall, Glitch was a great tournament. Some DQs made it a little smaller than it was, but it's still a major. Barely, though, skirting the edge, kind of like Shine and Riptide were. Maybe we'll make a video about like what actually qualifies or quantifies as a major coming up, because a lot of different rankings have different things. So if you guys want to see a video on that, let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed this one. If I missed anything, missed your favorite player's run, said like just a wrong fact about something, then be sure to let me know. Thank you for support. It means a lot to me, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.